Friday evening and I'm sitting outside and it's really fresh out. I can smell some of the fragrances of the flowers that are around me, and I'm really noticing that when I take the time to notice those things, how luxurious and amazing they are. And I don't know if you can hear it, but the rain on the tin roof. It's a great place to be because it's dry inside here and fairly warm. And out there is doing what it's doing. So be it. So yesterday I was talking about the highs and the lows of it all and how quickly one can go. Me, for instance, yesterday on feeling the highest high and the most creative and the most, just full of electricity that I've ever felt, to some of the lowest lows of, some damaged and wounded places, and just feeling so frustrated that I didn't get it yet. That this morning I thought I got it, and this evening I feel like I'm never gonna get it. And that ran into the morning. When I woke up this morning, there was residue from last night on me, and I could feel it in my body, was tense. My adrenal glands were, locked down and rock hard. So I always know something's up at that point in time, but I can't shake it. I can't get out from underneath it. It's there. It's mucky. I don't really like it. I don't know what to do about it. I'm feeling depressed. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, like, how is it possible that I can go from such a good place, such an honorable place, such an amazing experience that I've had, and then just feel within 10 minutes it's decimated. And now I'm sitting in this muck and I don't know what to do. And truth be told, I really appreciate that I completed last night, but I'm in this place of, well, what do I do now? And the truth is, I have things to do, and I've been avoiding those things. Go figure. And I really started to question. So I could follow a 21-day system that was free to me. Like, there was conditions, I guess, to use it, which meant that I had to do the task every 24 hours. And thank God, because I wouldn't have done them. So accountability is such a big thing for me. Being responsible to a group, to another person that's out there, and I'm learning really to just honor integrally that person is me first, and then with the people that I choose to surround myself with. But the structure is something that helps me thrive, and I don't like being told what to do. I don't like having rules put on me. I like living life the way that I like to live it. But the truth is, when I tell myself the truth, I operate the best when I have a structure that's dependable, that asks me to be more of myself every day, and has some sort of curfew or deadline at the end, so that I know that it's important. I'm clear that it's important. I start moving towards it. And when it gets hard, if there's no deadline on the other end, no expectation, etc., then I will stop myself. I have 1,000 times. I have many books on my counter or on my shelf, on my bedstand table, that they rob my energy because I look at them. I've read a little bit of them, then it asks me to do a task, and now I'm too busy and I'm off to the next. Oh, but that book might be different. And, here's the truth is, they're all different, but all the same. Putting me up against my stuff, and this was no different today when I was up against it, and I know that I've been in resistance to it, but it was easy to focus my attention on what I was doing, which was this 21-day abundance, and it was so important. And if I was to tell myself the truth, I'm slimy. I know that I'm avoiding doing that other work, but I'm so proud that I'm doing this work, and look at the benefit that it's giving me. And I'm not being congruent in my promise to myself when I agreed to do this other course, that I paid money for. Almost as much as I pay for rent. And I'm not treating it like an investment, and I'm wondering, why not? Because the work they're asking me to do is hard. And, I signed up for a date, and I believe that was actually Easter, and then I never checked my email, and no email came, so I didn't go looking for it, but I pretty much knew that was the day that I agreed to, but I was still easy and slimy enough to just slide past that place of, we'll just skate past the truth and live in that fantasy land of nothing to see here, people, nothing to see. Move along, move along, move along. But the problem is, I know, at some deep and crazy level, I know that I am cheating myself. And I don't like that part. It's hard, and I don't want to keep doing it because sometimes it just feels too hard, too much. But as I start to sink into deeper sensations in my body and deeper places in my spirit and soul, I know that I'm deepening the connection to all that is. I can feel it. It's been a felt experience. I've had it a few times in my life, but it's always fleeting because I always think, well, that was too easy. There's just no way that it could be that easy. And when I did it consistently for that many days and I stayed committed and I actually did the work for the first time in my life, I stayed committed to a journey like that. And I reaped such rich rewards, and I'm so glad that I have had the experience that I have had. And the highs. And the lows. And I'm thankful for all of it. And as we walk this sort of crazy COVID-19 world, similar to when 9/11 happened and we were all in shock in front of our TVs and watching this stuff happen and going, this can't be happening. This is the United States. This can't be happening. What is going on? And the absolute terror that, us in Canada as well felt in this moment of despair of the world will never be the same. The world will never be the same. And that was, in my opinion, a pretty big wake-up call. And here we are, coming in on 20 years later. And apparently we needed a little bit more of a wake-up call. I hear people say, like, I want to get back to what it was before. That world no longer exists. It does not exist. And it will never exist again, not in the same way it can't. So just like every terrible thing that happens, and believe me, I know this to be true, the the trauma, the level of betrayal, the level of just insane depth of sorrow and darkness and despair I've had in my own life so many times. And visiting that sort of darkness and depth of yuck this morning, being in bed and going, I don't want to just spend my time being depressed. It's heart-wrenching. So I kicked dirt around the floor today, for a bit, and was feeling pissy, and I knew that I was still committed to this thing that I paid for, and yet I wasn't actually doing the work. And I'm like, Tanya, what is going on? What is going on? What is going on? And so in that moment, I thought, okay, I'm 12 days behind, and I've done the work in a rush, up until now, but let's get serious. You can commit from right now. You can commit from right now and pull it together, figure it out. And it was something that I was doing in the background. I pulled it up on a different screen. And all of a sudden I could see that I could change the date. And I'm like, isn't that interesting? So I could restart this and rekindle this experience and really get clear that this is an investment. It cost me something. And right now it's asking me to spend more of my time doing it. My time, attention, energy, focus, reality. And so when I pressed change and all of a sudden the change button came up and I was like, oh, okay, a couple of days from now, that sounds good. So everything else had already started. So I thought, okay, so that's the one. I press it and it says, if you change the date, your money back guarantee is null and void. And I went, oh, well, then I have no back door. Well, hang on a second. I think that I should probably rethink that. So I canceled the order and went out and, okay, breathe into my body like I need to actually land this somewhere so that I can actually feel what the answer actually is. Instead of that, and the small, still voice says, yes, that. No risks, no back doors, no wiggle room. But here's the truth is if you're going to invest in this and say that, then you have to do the work that goes along with it, which has had me in the most resistance right now about what I'm reading, what I'm expected to do, which I know that I can do, but I'm currently unwilling. And I'm asking myself why. So that's where I'm at today. And that's okay, because I've been different places on every day before now. And it goes in a circular pattern that all leads back to now. And as I learn to be more present in my body and make choices that can change things. So today, just prior to doing that exercise, I decided, well, I mean, I get to choose. I could do the 21-day abundance thing again. No one said that I couldn't. There's no, guidelines necessarily. It's not necessarily with a group, but if I want to, I can. And I'm clear that it has helped me stay in my body, stay away from this crippled, fear-frozen place, and therefore is worth investing my time and energy in. So for the first thing I did was pull up the page and go to the bottom, and there's a clip there that says, you're one decision away from making a change in your life. One decision. And this was it. This was a decision that I could make right now in the moment to shift that energy, because I was in it. Like far deep yuck, man. And I was so surprised that it's possible to go from here to there in a heartbeat. But I also noticed that I stay less time in that down and gross and ugly place than I ever have. My ability to respond to that is growing when my capacity to tell myself the truth and do what I say and say what I do and treat myself with respect and kindness and operate completely and impeccably in integrity. And I'm learning. I got training wheels on, and I'm okay with that. I am in the process. I am committed to that. And it feels different than other times, because there's an expectation of me now, and I've proven to myself that I can do it, and that I can reap amazing benefits and rewards, and that I am extremely powerful. Like, I manifested, or helped manifest, a boat. There's a boat in my driveway. Yesterday I was pissy about it. Today I'm like, wow, that is cool. We have a boat. And what a great time to have a project. Because the truth is, the world that used to exist no longer does. And so regardless of how much time passes or what the expectation is, cook meals together. If you're alone, get on a Zoom call, get on a video call, get on a phone call. Make the things happen that need to happen for you to feel connected. Be willing to ask for what you want. Be willing to hear no. I can't support you in that way. But it's worth the risk. It's worth the risk, in my opinion. We continually seek wisdom from outside of ourselves. But when we can spend time here in this blessed place and trying to, rework this idea that what's happening isn't supposed to be happening. It is because it is happening. And so getting into reality about that. I don't like it. You don't have to like it. Too bad. I asked myself at the beginning of this, what can I do? What will I do? What can I do? What will I do? And every time that I asked myself that, I took a step and another and another and another, and then took a little fall backwards, and then took another and another and another. Because really, realistically, it's all we got. What do you want? Get clear about that. I'm wiping it off as we speak. It becomes clearer and clearer every day. And I'm standing at the precipice of huge things on a daily basis, but I'm just going reckless abandon, man. Expand, expand, expand. And when I'm at choice, I can choose it at any given time. I'm so thankful for my longest life friend, Carol Fisher, who, at one point in time, we were in a program room together. Something happened. I was so angry. I was beside myself. Obviously, you could see steam coming out of my nostrils. Everybody in the room felt it. It was probably offensive. I'm really powerful, evidently. And we were in the car, and she said, at some point in time, you're going to change your mind, and you're going to come out of that stinker that you're in. Now's good. And then she got out, and she closed the car door. I was mad. So mad. I'm like, fuck you. Ah! But she was right. Eventually, I was going to choose not to be in that space anymore. Why not now? You know, it reminded me of this morning, like I am always at choice. And what am I choosing? And why am I choosing it? And sometimes the stinky, gross, crunchy parts, they're necessary. We wouldn't know we were doing well if we didn't have something to rub up against. It's what it's for. But instead of sitting there which I can do really easily because I am the self-righteous hothead of hissy fits. Like seriously, when I'm in my stoop, that's where I go. I'm disconnected from source. I'm disconnected from my, my true self. And I'm living in this place of resentment and anger, and it's all there. I honor it all. And I allow it to show up, but I'm learning to look at it now instead of being it. I might be it for a moment, but it doesn't take me long to recognize and notice that I'm out of line. And it's out of alignment. And my resistance means something. So it's, what do I want to take a look at? And how else can I see it? Is there another direction I can look at this and maybe derive another meaning or shift, just that little shift? And it sinks it from the head to the heart. And the heart's what matters. Love's where it's at. And on that note, I love you, and I hope that you have a good Friday evening, and I'll see you tomorrow night. By the way, I would still be in labor. Started last night, tonight, 52 hours. I'll see you tomorrow. My son will be 30. Can you believe it? Oh my God.